High above the busy streets of Enugu stood Hope Crest Academy, a school admired across the city. Its glass buildings gleamed under the sun, reflecting elegance and privilege. Every morning, sleek SUVs and polished sedans lined up outside as children in crisp uniforms hurried into classrooms filled with smartboards, projectors, and air conditioners. At the heart of this world was Mr. Chukwuma, the school's proprietor. Tall, stern, and neatly dressed, he carried an aura of authority. Teachers stood straighter when he walked by, and students whispered his name with quiet respect. To everyone, he was a man of success, disciplined, wealthy, untouchable. Yet beneath that polished exterior, life was preparing to open his eyes in a way he never expected. One cool evening, after the last school bus had left and the courtyard had grown silent, Mr. Chukwuma stepped out of his office with his briefcase. He enjoyed the calm after a long day. But near the school gate, under the dim glow of a security lamp, he noticed a woman sitting quietly on a wooden bench. Her uniform was faded, her shoulders slumped with fatigue. She lifted her head quickly when she heard his footsteps. "Madam," he asked, his voice firm, "why are you still here? Everyone else is gone." The woman stood nervously, bowing her head. "Good evening, sir. My name is Amara." Her voice was soft, respectful, yet heavy with hesitation. He frowned slightly. "It's late. Why are you waiting here?" She shifted her weight, wringing her hands. Her eyes stayed on the ground. "I was hoping, sir, if it is allowed, I could take some leftover food from the canteen. It's for my daughter at home." Her words cut through the quiet air. She had not asked for money or favors, only food. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then, with a small nod, he answered, "Go ahead." Relief washed over her tired face. "Thank you, sir," she whispered before hurrying off. Minutes later, Amara returned with 2 small food packs in a nylon bag. She held them as though they were gold. Bowing in gratitude, she slipped through the gate into the night. Instead of leaving, Mr. Chukwuma found himself strangely unsettled. Something about her request stirred him. On impulse, he entered his car and followed her quietly. The bus she boarded rattled through narrow, dimly lit streets until it reached a broken-down neighborhood. He parked a little distance away and watched as she entered a crumbling building with cracked walls. Almost immediately, a barefoot little girl ran out, her face lighting up. "Mama!" she shouted with pure joy. Amara knelt and hugged her tightly, then brought out the food packs. She placed the child on a small wooden stool and carefully divided the rice and chicken. Not once did she taste it herself. She simply sat and watched her daughter eat with quiet satisfaction. From a car, Mr. Chukwuma's chest tightened. For the first time in years, his wealth and authority felt small compared to the quiet sacrifice of this woman. That night, he lay awake in his large home, staring at the ceiling. Amara's face haunted him. The memory of her daughter eating eagerly while she stayed hungry would not leave his mind. All this success, he thought bitterly, and yet under my own roof are people fighting battles I've never seen. Sleep refused to come. For the first time, he felt the weight of a truth he had long ignored. That true greatness was not measured in wealth or discipline, but in compassion. The following week, he summoned Amara to his office. She entered nervously, clutching her handbag, certain she had done something wrong. "You don't need to be afraid," he said gently. "Sit down." She perched carefully on the chair, her hands trembling. "I followed you that evening," he confessed quietly. "I saw your home. I saw your daughter." Her eyes widened and tears spilled instantly. "Sir, please forgive me. I only wanted to feed her. I never meant to bring shame to the school." "You brought no shame," he said firmly. "On the contrary, you reminded me of what truly matters." He slid 2 documents across the table. With shaking hands, Amara picked up the first. Her breath caught as she read the words. "Full academic scholarship, valid through all academic years at Hope Crest Academy." Her lips trembled. "Sir, my daughter? A scholarship? Until she finishes?" "Yes," he said softly. "From today, her education is secured. She will study here until she graduates." Amara's tears fell freely as she covered her face with her hands. Open the second document, he urged. She unfolded it slowly, and her eyes widened again. It was an official notice of salary increase. You serve this school with dignity, he said. You should not be starving while giving your best here. From now on, your pay will be doubled. Amara fell to her knees, sobbing. Sir, I cannot repay this. You don't need to, he said gently. Just keep being the mother you already are. The following Monday, Amara walked hand in hand with her daughter, Chidinma, through the school gates. The little girl wore a crisp Hope Crest uniform, her eyes wide with awe. Mama, is it true? She whispered. This is my school now. Amara smiled through her tears and kissed her forehead. Yes, my child, this is your new beginning. From his office window, Mr. Chukwuma watched them. For the first time in years, his heart felt lighter than all his titles and achievements combined. At first, Chidinma felt out of place. Her classmates carried confidence shaped by wealth, their voices loud, their shoes spotless. She was shy, holding back in class, unsure if she truly belonged. But each night, Amara encouraged her. Don't look at where we came from, she told her gently. Look at where you are going. Knowledge doesn't ask who your parents are, only how hard you are willing to learn. Little by little, Chidinma grew. She began answering questions in class, raising her hand eagerly. Teachers noticed her sharp mind and quiet determination. Soon, she made friends, laughing more freely. Sometimes, Mr. Chukwuma passed the cafeteria and saw her eating among her peers. He remembered that first night, her mother begging for scraps, and felt a warmth in his chest. Life changed for Amara too. With her increased salary, she no longer had to wait behind for leftovers. She could buy food, pay rent on time, and even save a little. Though she still worked as a cleaner, her steps no longer carried despair but quiet dignity. Her daughter's laughter filled their small apartment, turning it into a place of joy instead of struggle. Often at night, Amara sat by the window, listening as Chidinma read aloud from her new textbooks. She would close her eyes and whisper a prayer of gratitude, tears rolling down her cheeks. One bright morning, Mr. Chukwuma stood by his office window. Below, he saw Amara sweeping gently, her posture no longer weary, and Chidinma walking confidently with her classmates, books in hand, her face glowing with promise. His reflection stared back at him in the glass. But he no longer saw only a man of wealth and discipline. He saw a man changed by compassion. A single request for leftover food had opened his eyes, and one decision, to lift a mother or child, had rewritten their future. He whispered to himself as the school bell rang. True legacy is built not on glass walls or polished shoes, but on lives transformed by kindness.